Hi there, here we are again. Had a couple of weeks being busy, so do excuse me. Well, what can I say? I've made a big upgrade to the rotary aspect. I'll put a whole bunch of sort of how it was made, put together, sort of as we went through it. I made a couple of little shorts which I shall I'll put on the end of this video. I was going to put it at the beginning, but I've changed my mind, so they're going to be on the end. I kind of got a little bit fed up with the way in which we were doing the rotary, and I decided that I was going to do it differently, and the results are quite impressive. So without further ado, let me show you, and like I say, you'll see this at the end. That is now our rotary setup. We have got bearings in there, we've got adjustable arms. Those adjustable arms, I'm going to thread these so that we'll be able to thumb wheel them in. It'll make it easier for adjustment, much easier. At the moment I'm kind of cheating. Do excuse the fact that they're slightly on the piss there. It's purely because I've thrown this together this morning on a Saturday morning by myself, and I just wanted to get it running and show you guys how to do this. I haven't found a single design online that allows people like me to build one of these. So you will see at the end of the video exactly how we sort of put it together. It does look massive. It actually is quite big, but it will go up to 100mm box section. So we can now rotary cut up to 100mm box section. These 16mm bolts, there's a good reason for those, and that is because the internal dimensions of the bearings I had on hand were 16mm, so we use 16mm bolts. It does look quite serious. It looks like yeah, it looks like it's built to last. Okay, we had to make numerous adjustments to the machine. It was a headache, an absolute headache, but it's done. So that's where we are with it. If we have a little look around the back, there's, you can see, look, we put bearings in, little stiffeners here just to keep it as it should do, bearings here, oh, as he gets down on his knees, and bearings here, and this is all, you know, this the whole thing rides on it. You'll see in a minute, you'll see exactly how it works. I've got a laser line on it. It's how I've been centering everything for now. It's just for ease of setup, but we will, I think what I'm going to do, you can just see the laser line back through there on the table. I think I'm going to put a permanent laser on the end, a crosshair laser that comes on with Myplasm. You can put a little switch in the top here. You can allocate a switch, and then we can just turn on a laser light. So we can click on that, turn the laser light on, set it up, turn it off. Job's good, right? We've made some changes here. We've had to remodify that bracket. We've got two little discs here, and that is to hold the earth. I don't know whether you can see it there. You see the earth braiding, and it's to stop it getting, because we've shortened this as well. We wanted to make sure we didn't get any tangling of the earth braid in that, so we put these little discs, and they ring quite nicely, right? We've had to shorten this to get the A-axis in place. It has been, what was starting out as a fairly simple upgrade has turned into a bit of a mean one. Oh, we've had to make adjustments here. You can see we've gone front and back with these. It allows us to put in offset materials like angle. So we could have a bit of angle in here, and then we can use the offsets to make that work. These are all keyed, so there's keyways to stop them turning, and at the moment we're just using a little M6 machine bolt to clamp them into place. That will all change. Like I say, we're going to put some thumb wheels on here with a bit of threaded bar top to bottom. Oh, let's come out a bit. Threaded bar from top to bottom, and we'll be able to wind those, and they'll be slightly spring loaded. I've got some die springs, so we'll spring load those. It'll be enough to support small material like this, and you know, the bigger material, maybe we'll just have these interchangeable, or the heads interchangeable or something, but we'll work that out. So that is the long and the short. If you're wondering what these are here, These are to, you can just see there's a little bit of movement backwards and forwards there. We've put those in to take up some of the slack. It doesn't affect its operation. And when I get around to it, you can see the gap here. If we go the other side, there we go. Especially down here, you can see the gap. There's a gap all the way around there. I'll laser cut out some nylon, and we'll just fix some nylon in there so it runs a little bit sweeter. But like I say, it acts as it should do, and it does what it should do. We've had to shorten this. We've had to change the torch mount. Honestly, well, you can see the first attempt, oops, second didn't work, third is under there and it does work. We've had to move this stop, the sensor, out as far as we can because the torch itself needs to come, you know, at least out to the 100mm edge there, and it wasn't reaching because we made the drum bigger, the follower bigger. Honestly, it's been a week's worth of absolute ball ache. You can see how many goes we've had at, at putting this in, because every time we changed something, it affected something else. But it's solid and it works. The stepper motor here is more than powerful enough to turn the whole thing. If I just show you there, so we'll just let me just check that the torch is up out the way. Let's move the torch up out the way. Torch up out the way, and what we'll do is we'll just home the A-axis, and you'll see that it turns. Oh, let's pan out a little bit, and there you go. Works absolutely fine. So what I've got is a little cut lined up, ready to go, and we'll just test this. I need to lower the torch down to the right height for the Z. Let's see if I can. It's so difficult to do this. I really must get a tripod at some point. So there we go. So we'll call that Z good. All right. And what we're going to do is, oh, nearly knocked over my coffee. That'd be a bad day. What we're going to do is we're going to run a test cut. I'm not going to lie to you. I've actually run this a couple of times already, and it seems fine. So we'll just go yes to that. And sorry, I'm doing a lot of doom walking. So let's just see it do its thing. Okay, you know, I said I had a long week. I have had a long week because that was not cutting anywhere near like it should. And I'll explain why as soon as the compressor decides to shut up for a minute. And there we go. That was way too slow for what it was. And the reason is because in my excitement to get going, then I selected the 10mm, and it should be, God, that is so annoying, and it should be the rotary 1 to 5. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up again, because, yep, torch is okay, so let's, oh, keyboard, doom walk, and there we go. So let's just, yeah, let's, there we go, we will home the A, there we go, and we will do that, and we will recenter it. It's probably going to throw a little error, right, and then what we've got to do is line everything up again. If we come down here, you'll see how I line it up pretty much by eye, really. So we'll do that. We'll take a little bit back there. There we go. So you can see we're pretty much central there. We've moved down a little bit to allow for the cut. We've got a half happy torch height. Right, it's a little bit skewy there, but these are all things that we need to sort out a bit later, because I've only just finished this. This is finished 15 minutes ago, so all this is as much new to me as it is to you, but I thought I would do it as I do it to show you that everything doesn't go as always planned. So what we've got to do now is we sort that, and we set the Z height. Okay, and yes, got that sorted. God, imagine I'm doing a video, I'm meant to be a serious professional fabricator stroke engineer, and just look at me. Never mind. So shall we run it again with the right settings this time? Proves that it works. Oh, actually, where's my, why don't we have a look at the cock up and just see what happens when you cut. Oh, you hear that? Hang on, here we go. Oh yeah, that's hot. This is what happens when you cut too slow. Now, plasma settings, it just goes to show how important plasma settings are. That slot, on the whole, doesn't look too bad. But look at that, where it goes slow and it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter, it goes to shit pretty quickly. You know, these holes, I mean, they're all offset and a bit odd, but if you look at that, some people say, oh, that's a good hole. I find it shocking. It's shocking shit, but there we go. And you can see you've got the dross here. It's just pants. But that was, poor old machine thought it was cutting 10mm, so it was going nice and slow and trying to do the best it could, but obviously not the machine's fault. The guy built it right. Okay, so let's have another look. Okay, when the compressor shuts up, I will show you what the right settings are like. Here we go. So the slot looks as though there's hardly any change or any difference. but you can see now that the bit has fallen out. It's a little bit of weird stuff going on here, but that's just fine tuning. That's just tuning it all up. But on the whole, it's not bad. It's plasma at the end of the day. It's not laser, right? Holes. Yeah, so the holes are round, which is always what you're after with plasma. Even though these are only 12mm holes, but they're round, which is a good thing. That's the shitty end when it was cutting too slow. Yeah, I think there's a few things Myplasm could sort out, and I hope Lucas does sort it out. The pause at the corners, I'd love that to be a user input that you could actually, because the way it slows down on those corners seems very, well, slow. It would be nice if it was tied into the slowing down on corners, a kind of, I forget what he calls it. I think he calls it speed 2. Yeah, it is, cutting speed 2. It'd be nice if he could have these corners as cutting speed 3, so that you could, you know, because the different radius requires different speeds. So the smaller the radius, it pauses there longer, and then you get these little. It's almost like overcuts where the plasma is trying to. It's pausing because it thinks it's thicker on the corner for it to move around the corner, which is fine. It's what it's meant to do. But if that was user configurable, that would be awesome. That would just be awesome, because you could either just carry on flat out and just let it spin around as fast as it can, and that would work quite well. Although at the moment with the weight of that thing, it might tear itself to pieces. But the point being is that it would be nice if it was user configurable. So, Lucas, if you do look in on me, and I hope you do, that's a little thing I would like to happen. So if we just do a side-by-side comparison of, let's do that. Okay, so this is what settings do for you. Too slow, probably not fast enough, or too fast. But the holes, you can see you've got a little bit of dross here. They look a little bit out of shape because it was just going too slow, but that's a nice hole. Don't often say that, do you? Got to be careful how I say these things these days. But for a plasma cut, circular orifice, and again you can see there is a difference there and there, and a definite difference here. I've turned them over. The slots though, not a lot of difference, but my preference is definitely the faster cut one. You've got a few overcuts here, a little bit of dross and overcut here. So yeah, there you have it. That is the new follower, and I hope it's going to serve us well, because I have no desire whatsoever to make another one or to change it. I think perhaps we need to slow down a few bits and pieces. I might make it lighter. What I may do is take out the disc and just whack a shed load of holes in it. You know, we'll stick it on the plasma on the table on the flatbed here, although it's filled with crap at the moment. And then we'll just knock a whole bunch of holes out of it, just make it a lot lighter so it spins a bit easier. We made it out of 10mm, maybe that was a mistake, should have been 5mm, but I was trying to fill the width of these bearings. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we fill it, and also 10mm is easier to machine, because that is, I don't know whether you can see, you probably can't, but in there the edge is machined. So I spun that down on the lathe. You will see in the video that you know, the videos at the end here, exactly how I did it. All these blocks all machined up, quite nice on the lathe. Did all the offset holes. They were all reamed out, so they're a nice good fit for 1904 bright bar. And like I say, as you can see, I put the slots in guide slots. We fabric cobbled some clevises together, but I will machine those eventually, or maybe not. See how we get on. So there we go. If you like the video, then please like and subscribe. It does help a lot. I'm constantly getting comments, and Massive big thanks to Dye Power. He sent me some fluid to go in the water table. We will be draining that down next week, and we will be using it dye. Thanks very much. I cannot thank you enough. And you know, it's little things like that, and it's the enthusiasm I get from other people that make all this worth doing. Because sometimes I can get a little bit down in the chops with it all because I'm just so busy. I work 7 days a week pretty much all the time. I still try to find time to do this content. And if we look at the follower again for the final time, because I keep bleating on about it, let's just do that a sec. There we go. If we look at the follower just for the last time, I could not find anywhere that was going to show me how to do this. There are millions of different ways of doing this, but none of them seem universal for different profiles of tube and what have you. So I was looking at all the professional laser tube cutters and the plasma tube cutters, and I could see sort of what they were doing, but I couldn't really work it out. And I don't want to build a massive, great, static, you know, will accept 300mm box section, you know, tube rotary follower. Well, technically, I guess it wouldn't be a follower, for something that I need to bolt to this machine to make as light as possible. So I do hope that somebody has a go at doing this based off my little attempts here. I don't think there's going to be any patent pending on any of this, but it is, yeah, I couldn't find anything, so I've made it up as I've gone along. It was on the fly engineering. Me and one of the lads spent most of the week doing it, so, you know, I'm out of pocket, but, you know, it will pay for itself. So, once again, thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate. Anybody got any comments, then please let me know, positive or negative. If it is negative, then do say why. Positive comments, always welcome. Questions, I do answer. I seem to be answering quite quickly these days, so if you've got a question you want to, you know, fire it past me, let me know, not a problem. I will do everything I can to help you. I've had a few people ask me for drawings and dimensions and some other bits and pieces. Hand on heart, I built this from my head. It's just something that I had a vision and I just built it. I didn't take any care for the measurements. I know I wanted to get an 8 foot by 4 foot sheet on the bed. I can get an 8 foot by 4 foot sheet on the bed. The rest has been just made up. I lie awake at night sometimes and I think, what can I do to make that work? What can I do to make this better? And this is what I've come up with. So hope you've enjoyed the journey. There's still more things to come. Not so much in this anymore. I think I'm nearly spent on the plasma for now. I will do other stuff. One of these days I'll paint it, right? But yeah, there's a couple of things to do. I still haven't done the anti-collision thing yet. That's still an open loop stepper, not closed loop. There's not a closed loop on the A-axis either. That needs doing. There's a few odds and sods. I think I've already mentioned in a previous video that I made my spikes 10mm too high. That's a constant annoyance because it doesn't keep the air as clean as it could be. But we have got things on the way and we've got things to come. So just the weather's pretty crap here in England at the moment. I'm freezing my little bits off at the moment, and yeah, it's all good. So it's going to be back to work for me for another couple of hours. It is 1:45 on a Saturday. I'm hoping to finish by about 4. Get home, glass of wine, watch the rugby. I'm not going to say who's going to win because I'll get shouted at by somebody. But have a great time, enjoy your weekend, and thank you very much for watching. Spin it around, mate.
They'll tell you serving in the armed forces is just their job. They won't show you.